because somebody tossed her name into a hat. There was a 4th of July, like a lottery, and the guy's name, wasn't the guy's name Victor, Marianne? You told me this story. And so you better go. And here's one that's more straight on. It's from my friend Forrest Gander. Marianne and I sometimes go up to this little cafe in Laramie called Coal Creek. And of course, we take Bootsy with us. And there's a bookstore there, Night Heron Books. And there's a joke in this poem that most people don't get if I don't prep you for it. His name's Forrest Gander, and there's a woodlands goose in the poem. So, woodlands goose, Forrest Gander. So, I hope you get it.
Okay, good.
And also it's Night Heron Books. So I'm playing with where his book was alphabetized in that store. Letter of Forrest from Laramie. You have the handsomest name, Forrest, east of the Mississippi. All land tracks bow to you. Fireflies fierce upon your tree. If you were here, I'd call you Medicine Bow Mike. I'm sure I'd see snow caps increasing years in your hair as you'd ease down from the high country beaver pools for a week of whiskey and cards. They've certainly camped in mine, refusing to leave. Such squatters throwing snow seem to like me more each year. In Laramie, I'm passing through, up for the day from Colorado, pretending I'm not already passing fast this life. We lunched at Coal Creek, an outdoor cafe that likes Bootsy and she, the scent of cowboys and cream. There was a great Pyrenees named George. He was a benevolent king. I never felt so small with him ponying over our little hound. I thought of your deliberate and slow, the way you make the world seem seen, large. Across the street, Night Heron Books is not a woodlands goose, but a whole claiming Laramie sane. It says there's feed and not just a bag of oats as a horse's sling. In the store, on the shelf, you were there, your deeds of utmost kindness. That's the title of one of his famous books. Your deeds of utmost kindness, which is all you say and do. Hey, Mike, I'd whisper if you were standing with me, leaning into your buckskin ruff. Read me one of them fallen sounds, alone in a forest, only philosophers can hear. Gentle me, gentle man, over the timber, beaver can't wait to sink. And you'd roll your sleeve, drop your calm animal cap, and let your blood right there into a cup and say that was your poem. Then slit your best wrist all the way, saving the other for straws. I could draw the shortest vein and win the night watch, high on the rise, overlooking the trains. They couple out back off South First, near Big Hollow Food Co-op. Who, such days, would name a grocery hollow? Who would claim such emptiness large? How often our want, how deep and wide and sky, how we crawl and scrawl in mound of emptiness, a badger den of depth. That's where I reside, you know, in the midnight fierce, pounding out from the coyotes, with Lorca's ants that can't be seen but frequent your wrist. Marianne has enough sense to draw me up from the well depths of dirt on the rawhide flats, point me back to the marsh, which seems to be this Night Heron Books, where I find you utmost forever kind, though shelved in the F's, as if your last name was wide and dark in reach. Imagine a bird balancing a leg, unseen by clay, sinking into the blathering musk of a night scent, so deep we have to sing. Thank you. Thank you. Here's a weird little poem from my friend Gene Frumkin. I've read poems for Gene before. He left the body 5 or 6 years ago. And since I was writing letters, I thought, I gotta write Gene a letter, even though he's dead. And so this is a poem that I wrote for him. You're gonna hear a lot of other people Everybody sort of becomes everybody else in this poem. And some of these poets, some of you will recognize. Patrick is Patrick Lawler, John is John Bradley, Bob is Bob Arnold, etc. I'm writing Gene a letter, but he's dead. I keep trying to say it's 99 in Fort Collins today, but only 93 in Albuquerque. I keep trying his side with my hand, the resurrection of his word. Remember the Indian who sold us cedar? I had a headache 3 days and could kill it only in Livermore after dumping the bundle from my back seat. Remember the fragrance of the full moon over Dodge? I'm writing Bob, my mouth, the tender of it and clutch, the way this word or that, the moist imprint of my strain. Trains don't always reach west, I'd say, and he'd nod that rain in the barrel nod he'd use as table water in Vermont, Susan each evening at the Stitch, dirty shirt left out on the truck to wash and dry. I can't write Alvaro because I love him. No one can write another they see as themselves. No one agrees. Nothing. Not even the pronouns. So I'm writing Alvaro through Gene because Bob just published his book. Alvaro's book, not Gene's, made by Bob's hand. My book in a way. And Tom McGrath's because he kept writing Gene a note. I keep writing John because he's not dead. Because he writes me back each day as if I'm answering myself. As if he's unleashed the fire ants of Namibia again in my wrist. In a way, I'm writing Bob, though sometimes I call him Patrick. I begin, Dear Rain in My Chest, or Dear Zhivago, plaiting the full Uriatan moon over Dodge, or Sad, sad glance of the owl. I call Patrick a name, my name, Paul's, Barney, Bootsy, adorable Beagle Breath, because Gene loved them both, though he died before Bootsy arrived. I can't write Gene because he's alive, somewhere busy, marking my strain. He keeps saying, hey, amigo, don't write me anymore. I'm fried. Write Bob, though they never met. I think Gene wants to write Alvaro, so is asking me to write Bob. I think John wants to live in DeKalb forever, even if it's not the West. Maybe because I'm writing him how much I need to stay alive. I think how Patrick and Paul loved Barney, and will love her even more through Bootsy when they meet. Bob loves them all in his rain-in-the-barrel way, and through Kokomo, his cat, who keeps napping as if Gene hasn't died. As if Bob has left Vermont and is capturing the full moon over Dodge from a train that keeps trying the loping rails west. So I'll visit Alvaro in New Mexico and not write, a letter that is, though I'll still skill the sky. Because I love him, as I love Gene, even though Gene's tired of me disturbing his rest. Though it's eternal, so one more letter can't mean much. Maybe I'll write Eric before seeing Alvaro, because Gene loved Eric too, even before Gene died, as he loved my wrist, the one red with ants, swollen in bitten blood, the blood John sends back to me each day when he writes to help me somehow stay alive. I think I'll close. All 13 of us.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, K2.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank
blast.
you.
This was such a cool place to read. Thank you for having me.
George's poetry has all of relationship in it. It's all about relationship. The relationship of the words and the sounds that the words make.
Thank you.
The relationships of the images. The relationships of the here and the was here and the going to be here. It's all about the give and take of life, and I really appreciate your work, George.
Oh, thank you, Bart. I appreciate that.
So between George's work And Matthew, between George teasing our left-right brain cells and Mathis stretching us, now we open up to open mic.
That's right.
So, who would be first? Go ahead. Oh, thank you. We should film this. Yep, okay. Okay. I can see that. Okay. All right. Okay, man. Definitely.
Take care, man. Take care, man. Oh, I did.